superstars. Give me Jalen Brunson. But there's only so many good bigs. If Marvin Bagley wants to come into my program, come on in. But I do think there's something to be said about veteran leadership. And I think tonight, Villanova, Michigan are well-coached teams. It's not like there's not NBA players in this game, Chris.
No, look, Villanova has the perfect approach. And I don't even know that Jay Wright does it on purpose. But their system, whatever you want to call it, is perfect for this day and age of college basketball because they don't typically get the upper crust blue chipper who's going to be one and done.
The 4 a year, the 6 a year.
Exactly. And they don't get the one and dones. They get guys that may have NBA potential.
But they need to be crafted.
Exactly. So they'll stay 3 or 4 years, and maybe some of them turn into NBA talents. Whereas the mid-majors, the other schools that get guys that stay 3 or 4 years, they just aren't NBA talent. You know, so Loyola had seniors and juniors as well, but they're not on the level as the Villanova players.
Well, what separates Michigan and Villanova from Loyola are the 3 NBA guys. Michigan's got 1, Villanova's got 2.
Yep.
And you know, I mean, this big kid from Michigan.
And they're both experienced. That's the difference.
Okay. So this is very interesting. I don't find the Spurs dynasty fascinating, kind of like Alabama football. It's kind of a boring, systematic process. This Kawhi Leonard thing is incredible. I'm just going to throw this out to you. He's got a year left in his contract. He hired his business manager. It's his uncle.
Yep.
Okay, there's a reason. Trust is big to this kid, Chris. He was overlooked in high school. He was overlooked in college. He was overlooked in the draft. This kid, trust is a big deal. I got Popovich coming out yesterday and saying, you know, when his group feels like communicating, that is another shot at Kawhi Leonard. This is ugly, Chris.
Look, and first of all, I think people talking about like he hired his uncle. A lot of people hire family members.
They do.
You know, it happens all throughout the NBA. I mean, Donnie Nelson Jr., you know, works for the Dallas Mavericks with, you know, Don Nelson brought him there. I mean, I could go on and on about nepotism in the NBA and other places as well. So I don't fault Kawhi at all for that because his uncle's well qualified. But here's the thing, Kawhi, they have made the Spurs aware of everything they're doing. In January, when they sought the second opinion because Kawhi had the setback after playing the 9 games, they kept the Spurs abreast of everything they were doing. And when they went to New York, the times they've gone back, the Spurs knew. And they're saying, when we see the Spurs, it's all fine. We talked to the front office and they're smiling.
So why is Popovich and Tony Parker banging on Kawhi?
Well, what they're saying is, look, we see beyond what Tony Parker said and Manu, they're saying these leaks that are coming out in the media, they're like, we're not leaks of tension.
So you're saying the Kawhi people are saying, who's leaking this stuff?
No, well, they know who's leaking it. They feel like it's the Spurs because they're like, there are only 2 camps. There's Kawhi's camp and there's the Spurs. And when we see the Spurs, it's all good and we're working together. But then we see a story about tension and about, you know, lack of trust. And we're like, so that has them looking a little bit sideways at the Spurs, and rightly so.
By the way, Lakers have a lot of room. Kawhi's from California. I'm just throwing it out there. We've always looked at LeBron, Paul George, Klay Thompson. Kawhi and the Lakers.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, let's face as much as I like Paul George, I'd rather have Kawhi Leonard.
And I like Paul, healthy. But if I could have both, I'd probably take Kawhi now.
And
I would.
Now, look, Kawhi is not trying to get out of San Antonio.
You never said that.
Yeah, he's not, but he has said he wants to stay there, and that still is there. However, let's see what the Spurs do. Let's see if they offer him that max contract, that super max, 5 years, $219 million this summer. But that's when things will really heat up, is this summer.
Okay. So here we're getting ready for a very interesting first round of the playoffs. I mean, the Western Conference is going to have some.
It's going to be great. Both conferences are going to be much more exciting than we thought. Right.
First of all, Sixers Pacers could be a 7-gamer. Like that.
Let me say this to you. I don't think you'll like this.
What?
The Philadelphia 76ers could end up in the conference finals if they can avoid Cleveland. Right? And right now they would, till the conference finals, they can get there. Let me ask, and I'm not predicting it. I still.
Well, what did you just do?
I'm saying they have. Look, Milwaukee can't get to the conference finals.
No.
Boston, who they going? They
can't.
They can't beat Cleveland.
Not without Kyrie.
Without Kyrie, they can't get to the conference finals.
No way.
And even so, I don't think they can beat Cleveland. Okay, so Indiana, Miami, none of those teams can get there. So I'm saying Philly can get there. If they play Toronto, who are the best two? Right now, you might say DeMar DeRozan is the best player, but I don't know. I think Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are the two players I'd pick first of those two total rosters. To tell me I'm wrong.
Joel Embiid just broke his face, and Ben Simmons has never played in a playoff game.
You always talk about Joel Embiid as if it's his fault that he broke his face.
No, it's not his fault, although LeBron never breaks his face. But the whole point being...
He can play with a mask.
No,
he can play with a mask.
Eye bone. It's different from breaking your nose.
Yeah, it was a freak accident.
Look, first
a lot
of all,
players have had that.
I don't root for anybody. But if Philadelphia gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, it will be my worst month as a talk show host. Those fans are obnoxious. They're not well-meaning. I am just doing a hard. They're not well-meaning. They're angry.
You need to start smoothing things over with them right now. I threw that out as a gift to you to smooth things over. It was a softball.
So it was a bounce pass for a layup.
Yes, and you just
jacked
kicked
it
out of bounds.
Okay, don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions. Hey, with Tiger Woods back in the hunt this week in Augusta, how great is that, by the way? I mean, that's going to be. Cross your fingers that he plays well. He didn't have to win for me, but it would be great if he's competitive on Sunday. DraftKings is set to give out $100,000 in prizes. First major of the year, top prize $10,000. You heard it right. And fantasy golf is the easiest fantasy sport to play. Hey, listen, for some, baseball's too complicated. Football can be rough. This is really easy. Pick 6 golfers before the tournament tees off Thursday. Sit back and follow the action. You can score a variety of ways. Birdies, streaks. Go to DraftKings.com before they tee off Thursday. Select your 6. Special code is HERD. Again, that's the code HERD to play for free.